Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your February Soul Session. I'm Princess India. Oh my gosh, I cannot hold these cards. I'm Princess India if you're new. And if you are family, welcome back, my friend. So we're going to be looking at an overall energy as well as a challenge for the month of February for you guys. And I'm going to say it. I have not said it in any of the other ones. But some of my members had asked because my soul sessions are personal development readings, and these, are coming out at the first half of February, right? So Valentine's Day is on the 14th. So everyone was like, "Are these going to count for Valentine's Day?" And I figured, well, we got two cards for you overall. I figured I'd go ahead and say that I'm going to put out other readings for Valentine's Day that are love related. So, oh God, Cancer, what is happening in America? We'll just get into it. So just keep an eye out for that. They're gonna come out the week of Valentine's Day. So we're looking at an overall energy and a challenge, and then we're getting more specific into your situation. But you have two cards that came out for your overall and three for your challenge, so this is going to be fun. So let's see. For your overall energy, we have the Four of Cups and the Temperance in the reverse. Okay, we're doing good today. Okay, all righty. So the Four of Cups and the Temperance in the reverse. So here is the thing, Cancer, that I will say. Overall energy for February, it's stagnant, apathetic, a tad of emotional instability here. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. The vibe I really feel with this Cancer is more or less like it's almost like complete discontentment with where one is. Like it's almost like feeling stuck, having the desire to move forward, and there not really being any options on the forefront. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I can't even think of anything of what that would look like, because I mean, my perception would be is that there's always a way out. There's always options. You know what I'm saying? But more or less, that's kind of the energy space that you guys are in. Now, with this Temperance in the reverse, what I can garner from this more or less, well, thank you guys. Okay. So, okay, we can go with what it is that I was saying. It's hard to say that that's ever the truth because there's always an option. Even if externally there isn't an option, we still have the power to choose how it is that we feel about a particular situation or circumstance. You know what I'm saying? And the key is here is I'm like, 'cause my mind is thinking about so many things, and I'm trying to think of how can I condense this in a way where this is not like a whole lecture / class. Simply put, there's a need to find a middle road between two extremes. The issue at hand here is that you guys are kind of all or nothing about something. So hypothetically, either, I have all the money and be happy, or I have no money and I be broke. But having all the money is like a far shoot from where it is that you are. And I'm saying this hypothetically, not literally. So the key is kind of to find the middle road. Like, let me be content with where it is that I'm at, because I feel more or less that the schematic that you guys are using to measure yourself by isn't a fair schematic. It's almost like you're expecting more out of yourself than you really should. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have accomplished so much more by now, or this should be doing so much better than it is right now. But I feel like what you're comparing yourself to is like an unfair comparison. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, I think I've talked about nepotism before this month, but it's kind of like if a person who's the same age as you has moved up in this particular company, it's like and you're still entry level, it's like beating yourself up because you're not the COO, but we're not taking into account the fact that this person's uncle owns the company, and that's really why it is that they're the COO, if that's making sense. But I feel like that's really affecting you guys emotionally and how it is that you're perceiving yourself, but it's being unfair to yourself because you're not using like a fair, ruler or schematic to measure yourself by. Now, the challenge for this month, we have the Two of Cups, the Six of Sticks, and the Hanged Man in the reverse. Oh my God, these are showing up so clear. I can't believe it. It's like juju magic or something. But here's the thing. So what I feel with this is it's more or less exactly what I was saying with this Temperance in the reverse. With this Two of Cups, it's really about you guys coming back into alignment with yourself, and coming back into alignment with yourself in the context of masculine and feminine energy, more specifically like action and resting, right? So this is more or less saying the challenge is on some level or another to accept within yourself, with whatever it is you guys are fraternizing with, that you've done all it is you can possibly do. If you have not done all that it is that you can possibly do, it's a motivation to do that. And there's a need to change your perception of yourself, because I feel with that schematic, like I was saying, with the Six of Wands in the reverse, it's like it's almost putting yourself in a position of having failed before you've ever started. And I feel that's kind of like a deep-seated kind of thing. It's a self-perspective, and it's kind of looking at external circumstance as a validation of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a false core belief of either one or two things. It's either seeing yourself as a failure or not good enough, or believing like other people are always attacking you or jealous of you or trying to circumvent your success. It's like, feeling like you're at the will of other people's choices and decisions. And the reason why I'm not making it forward, in life is because of other people. And the interesting thing with this that comes to mind, ironically, with using the Hoodoo Tarot, is in the woo-woo community, this is something that I hear a lot from people. A lot of people I've worked with over the years wholeheartedly believe that the sole reason why they're not successful in life and nothing has ever worked out for them is because somebody has did some sort of juju or, root work on them, right? But there's a need to understand that whether it's spiritual attack, demonic attack, or it's somebody crossing you, hexing you, whatever, putting roots on you, whatever, is there has to be a level of acknowledgement and agreement with that. There has to be a level of you coming into alignment with it or being in agreement with it in order for something like that to work. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like if you fear that someone crossed you, then them crossing you will totally work because you fear it. You feel what I'm saying? And the key is why would you be fearing something that's of a lower vibrational energy if you serve the absolute highest vibrational energy? You feel what I'm saying? So whether it's in that case of feeling that, you're being attacked, or people are conspiring against you or purposely holding you back in some way, shape, form, or fashion, there's a need to come to a place of balance within yourself. And I'm even seeing the same with that, with the Hangman in the reverse. It's like I see the Hangman as a card of personal accountability, and seeing it in the reverse is saying to me it's like a refusal to see personal accountability. It's more or less the challenge this month, Cancer, would be seeing, and people probably not gonna like this reading, child. But the whole thing with this is seeing that like cause and effect, like seeing that choices, and I said a lot of this to Virgo. So if you have that in your chart, check it out. But there's a need to understand that every choice, decision, action that you've made in your life prior to this point is why it is that you are exactly where it is that you are right now. It's not a fluke. It's not a hex. It's not someone else's fault. It's not the universe conspiring against you. It's not because God hates you. It's not because, you just got dealt a bad hand in life. You know what I'm saying? It's making the best of, if you wanted to call it that, I hate to say it that way, but I mean, if you wanted to call it that, it's making the best of a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? And knowing even if your circumstances can't change, then you can. Because, like, if you are thinking and feeling the way that you are in your life circumstance right now, even if your circumstances changed, you're still going to think and feel exactly the way that you do. And I think all of humanity who believes that if we somehow got money, somehow fell in love, somehow, had a nicer house or a nicer car, that we're somehow going to be happy. That's like the biggest delusion and the biggest lie that the world tells us. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not going to ever be happy or content until you choose to be that. It's never going to be a state or place that you're in or the acquisition of things that's ever going to make you feel any better about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? If you can't find happiness here, you're not going to find it anywhere. And I apologize for this, Cancer, because I know that's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? But I say this with love, because with the challenge falling the way that it is, it's really saying to me there's a need to get back emotionally balanced, to address how it is that you're talking to yourself or perceiving yourself, or how your beliefs about yourself are affecting your actions, and needing to take personal accountability for the choices and decisions that have been made up to this point. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that has to do with why it is, this energy is going on with you guys are feeling imbalanced. Now, your central energy, the energy that's representing you guys for the month, oh man, it's the Six of Swords in the reverse. Come on, we were doing so good. We were a team. Okay, we were doing so well, us together. Camera, thank you. I think that's the clearest it's ever been. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse, your above energy. We have the Three of Swords. Oh, your past influence, man. We have the Five of Swords, conflict, man. Come on, eyeball. There we go. Your hidden influence. We have the Seven of Coins. Please don't quit before the miracle, Cancer. Don't give up. Looking at your past and everything. And what to watch out for moving forward. We have the Five of the Cuppies. So, Cancer, here's the deal. Looking at this energy, this is I feel like you guys are sad this month. You know what I'm saying? And I feel this has to do with something that has transpired recently. It's some sort of conflict. It's some sort of I don't know. It feels like a, how can I say this? It feels almost to me as if, because I'm feeling this, I'm trying to think how to put this into like a tangible example. This would almost be like if, okay, perfect example. All right. This would almost be as if, and I'm going to go real extra here, Cancer. This would almost be as if, say, at, your job, right? You felt like all of these people at your job were like hating on you. They were jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like they were talking trash behind your back. That's why you never got promoted. And they felt like it was like you felt it was because of how you looked and how it is that you dressed, and because you were the only person that worked there that didn't have a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the equivalent of like you making this decision to do this whole self makeover plan, right? So secretly for like a whole calendar year, and this is why I say this is a silly example, because realistically this is impossible, but just follow me. So let's say secretly for a whole calendar year, you decide like, I'm not going to get a master's degree. I'm going to go get a PhD, right? So you finish your PhD in a year. And during that time frame, you get you a personal trainer, you go get you some plastic surgery, you get some fillers, you know what I'm saying? You work with a hairstylist and you get like the ideal hairstyle for your face shape, you get a whole new wardrobe. And your plan is in a whole calendar year, that the position that it is that you want, the person in that position is going to retire. So your thought is, if I spend this whole year fixing everything that they be talking behind my back about, right? And I come out like boom, pow, bam, right? then I can apply for this job and get promoted. And then everyone's going to see, all the talent that I have, how I should have been in this position. And then people are going to feel stupid because they doubted me, right? Now, you do all of that stuff. Here comes the year, the person, retires, you apply for the job, you do the interview, you do super amazing, and then it's like you get the position, right? So it's like, I knew it. I knew it was because of how I was dressed, how I wore my hair, because of my weight, and da 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 da. And I got a PhD now, and none of y'all got no PhD, right? And you get the position, right? And your thought is that all these people are going to be like, whoa, you're so this, you're so that. Like, I can't believe we overlooked you. Why did we ever doubt you? Right. So it's more or less you get into that position and you're waiting for, that validation, and it never comes. You know what I'm saying? And then now that you're in the position, it's a whole shit ton of work. And now you're bogged down by work. But in the midst of all of this, it's like all of the people that you worked with, they still act exactly the same. You're literally their boss. They still feel no different. They still don't invite you places. They still don't talk to you during lunch. It's like, it's as if nothing ever changed at all. And it's like feeling this sense of resentment because of that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling that you guys are at the tail end of. Like, you're coming out of this, meaning that this 5 of swords I'm seeing in your recent past, like, this is something that happened. Now, mind you, I said it's a silly example because it's super, extra, right? Like, it literally could not even be that serious. Like, it could be something as mundane as, you went and got a revenge body because, you and your ex broke up, and you figured, oh, when I lose a whole bunch of weight, they're going to regret the day that they left me. And it's like they don't feel no type of ways. So it's like the energy that I feel with this is almost as if Cancer did something to try to, like, I don't want to say prove a point, but it kind of is. It's like to prove a point, or to be something, get somewhere, obtain something. So it's either like to spite other people, or something that you thought would make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Or to get back at people that hurt, harmed, or maimed you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But it's like being fast tracked till now. It's like a level of disappointment that one feels because it's like not getting the reaction, or not getting the validation that you hope you'd get, or not getting the response that you hope you would get. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, Cancer. I want to stress that, because I see people do this all the time. It's a learning curve. Like, all of us have been in this place and space before, but it's like this is the opportunity to where this becomes like an awesome learning experience. Because when you have that feeling of disappointment, of like, wow, like no one cares, you know what I'm saying? Or no one's really paying attention, or they don't feel sorry, they don't feel regret. Like, how do they not feel bad for this? You know what I'm saying? Or they don't see me as da, 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 it's like when you have that kind of hollow feeling, it becomes a learning lesson, because it allows you, like I said, with this Hangman in the reverse, to come back to center and question yourself a little bit. Like, what was I really doing this for? Is that really fair to myself to put all of this time, effort, and energy in to either spite someone else, or prove something to someone else, or gain validation from someone else? You know what I'm saying? Was I really doing this for myself? If you were, then it would be a sense of peace that one would feel. You know what I'm saying? But with you guys above energy being the 3 of swords, it's I always say with the 3 of swords, it's your heart, your mind attacking your heart. You know what I'm saying? So you're feeling sadness, you're feeling depressed because how it is that you're thinking and perceiving a situation. And with the 6 of swords in the reverse being the card that's representing you guys this month, this is very much a past tense thing that happened. It's a past oriented energy that you guys have not moved forward from. So whether this is something like, if this is a big something that happened past tense and there was a rehearsal of it in the recent past, you know what I'm saying? And, or even if it didn't happen in the recent past, this is the distant past, And it's just like you've just come to that realization in the latter part of January, coming into February, of feeling this feeling of like a hollow victory, because that's really what it feels like to me. It's like coming into this with the perception of like this is going to be it, and realizing that it's like it feels hollow. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was going to feel, great about this, and it's like not. It kind of reminds me of like, like and I'm speaking to my millennials. You remember like the shows they used to have when we were younger, like when we were in high school and stuff like that, it like the teen dramas, you know what I'm saying? And like people would sabotage people's lives and stuff. I'm not saying that you're doing that, Cancer, but this feels to me like, or for those of you who, watch, sitcom, well, I don't know if that's a sitcom, like a drama. The most recent show this makes me think about is the show Revenge. If you've ever watched that show, it's kind of like a situation like that. And I'm not saying that you guys are doing that. I'm just using this as an illustration where it's like you plan out this strategy to like vindicate yourself, but then when you finally complete it, it's like that emptiness feeling, or you know what I'm saying, like you end up, and there's actually a card in here that talks about this, but the chick just didn't feel bad about it afterwards, but that's neither here nor there. But it's kind of like achieving the thing, and it's like feeling so empty inside afterwards, right? And I feel why the Six of Swords is here is because it's saying this month, Cancer, there's a need for you guys to kind of backtrack. Whether this is something, like I said, that happened in the long distant past, if this is something that happened in the recent past, it's this situation has power and control over you. It's not about someone else having power and control over you. It's whatever it is that you experienced that changed the way that you think about yourself or about people, that caused you to change your behavior or morph yourself in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and has allowed you to show up differently or to change your motivations. You know what I'm saying? Because it's never a good thing to try to fix things in yourself to prove something to other people. Because it like it's literally, you know what I'm saying? Like people really don't care. Like I have to say that all the time. Like, I can't even tell you. I literally just said this to my own mother, and I was telling her how I say this to my clients. It's like a lot of times, like, we be thinking other people really give a shit, but some people really just give zero fucks, man. Like, they just really don't be caring. There's people who will break your heart, people who will scam you, steal money from you, and they literally do not care how it is that that affects you. And is that right? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? They're horrible human beings. You know what I'm saying? But for us to offset the course of our life trying to prove something or try to vindicate ourselves from that person is so unfair to ourselves. And I see this happen a lot with romantic relationships. It's like, whenever someone ghosts us or betrays us or something like that, we have this false perception of, if like almost as if this person robbed us of something. You know what I'm saying? And like everything we do after that partnership is you trying to vindicate yourself from that. It's like you're trying to gain back this perceived sense of whatever it is this person robbed you of. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's like they really didn't take anything from you, because it's just not possible. It's like, yeah, they may have hurt you, they may have betrayed you, but that doesn't lessen your sanctity as a soul and a body. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really take away your worth or your value as a human being. It's more or less a perception type of thing. So it's almost, Cancer, like being trapped in this prison, you know what I'm saying? And building like a homage to your past, if that's making sense. You know what I'm saying? And even I'm seeing this hidden influence with the Seven of Coins. Even like you guys are fixated, it's almost like you're in opposition to yourself. It's like, even though, oh my God, that's exactly what this Two of Cups is about. Okay, this makes so much freaking sense. Thank you, guides. So literally what it is I'm seeing here, Cancer, this masculine and feminine energy I was talking about in the Two of Cups. Your masculine energy is the action you're taking. So it's the stuff and the things that you're doing. Like the work that you're doing, what you're trying to build, all of this stuff, right? Those actions are oriented to the future, right? But your emotions are oriented to the past. So whether it is you doing it in spite of that back there, if what happened back there is your motivation for what it is that you're doing, your energy is in opposition to itself, right? So it's almost like, you know, tying two horses together in the opposite direction and slapping their ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not going forward. They're just literally doing this and just running in place. Like no one is going anywhere. We're not getting any farther. You know what I'm saying? So even though the actions you're taking in the physical are to build something for your future, it's the fact that your energy is so oriented back there. That's why it is you guys aren't seeing progression. That's what takes us back to this Four of Cups in the reverse for your overall energy. That's where that feeling of stagnation is coming from, and feeling like there's no way out of this. Because I get it. Like if you've been stuck in the same place, and no matter what it is you do, you can't seem to move forward. It's like, I'm doing the work, like I'm putting in the effort. Like, why is this not working out for me? And it's because the energy that you're in your feminine is calling in stuff that's in direct contrast to what it is that you're working towards. So, what the whole message is for this dude, and what I can tell you to watch out for with this Five of Cups, the key is here is not to dwell on what was and to get even more depressed coming into the latter part of the month. That's not what the goal is at all. The goal, and I said this to Virgo, even if you don't have it in your chart, I say look at Virgo, because I went into depth of what you do when you're in the Hanged Man energy. It's really like you having a coming to Jesus moment with yourself and taking full accountability about choices, decisions, and actions. And it's not focusing on, oh, but they did this to me and I didn't ask for that. It's not about none of that. It's about, okay, where are you now? What choices and decisions did I make that got me here? Okay, I made those decisions, not beat myself up because I made those decisions. I made those decisions. I'm here now. What options do I have? If I have zero options in my external world, then what can I do in my internal world to change my perspective on this? You know what I'm saying? What is it that I can give up? You know what I'm saying? To get me to where it is that I'm going. Because I feel like you guys are stuck in like a self-defeatist kind of cycle. And there is a way out of this, but everything with this with me is screaming your perception. There is something past tense you guys are not letting go of. And you can literally, the forewarning for me is you can fall deeper into, and I'm going to use the D word, you can fall deeper into a depression if you keep beating yourself up in the head, because that's not what the point is of all of this. You know what I'm saying? It's to get on one accord with yourself because you're in opposition to yourself. It's kind of needing, like I say, coming to Jesus moment is going back to the drawing board and getting clear on who am I, where am I, and what am I doing? What do I want? You know what I'm saying? Like, and what it is that I want, or what it is that I'm working towards. Like, why do I even want that? Like, do I feel like that's going to be fulfillment for me? Is it going to, be the end all be all? Am I only going to be happy when I get this particular thing? It's kind of questioning yourself with that. Because I really feel there's a need to go back to the drawing board here, Cancer. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that that makes sense. I hate talking about tough things with cancers because, I'm just this big chubby bull over here just stomping around and things. And, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but, at the same time, it's like, I hate to see, when we're prisoners in our own mind, when this is very much something that can be solved, it's just giving your past way too much power and way too much like credit to where it's literally creating a mental prison for you. And this is like a cry out saying, Cancer, no more of this. Like, we need to literally confront this. And as I always say, if we find ourselves in situations such as this and it's too complex to try to face on your own, because my hunch would be, I don't really think that this is new news to you, Cancer. But if you guys have tried to do work to get out of this or make changes in reference to this, and you haven't been able to get out of it, now would be the time to holler at a friendly local neighborhood therapist. You know what I'm saying? It does not have to be me. I always say that. I partner with BetterHelp. The link is in the description box below. Or you could go on good old Psychology Today and find somebody in your area. You know, there's no shame in that. Get you some little short, CBT or some little 6-session solution focused brief therapy. You know what I'm saying? And go in there with what your presenting issue is and work with a licensed professional to help you work out of it. Like it is a disservice to yourself to ever stay in a state like this when it's very much possible, you know what I'm saying, to get help to work your way out of this. Like, this isn't, and not demeaning, what you guys are going through, but I'm saying, me as a therapist and a trauma specialist and narcissistic abuse specialist, the type of therapy I do is long term. So, I mean, this is stuff people are working on for sometimes years. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to something like this, where this is like, this is a thought thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a maladaptive thought thing. This is something that you could literally work on with a therapist in 6 to 12 sessions. I kid you not. You know what I'm saying? So do a favor for yourself, Cancer, and help yourself overcome this, because you can. I believe in you. I know you can do it. And I love your freaking face. And if you don't resonate with this, then come back the week of Valentine's Day. But anywho, Cancer, that's been your soul session for February. I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than